And there it is.
Done. No countdowns. Raw
No.
dog in the intro.
You just hit live and you're live. That's all you got to do.
Every time. It's the same bit. If you've watched us, it's the same bit every time we go live. We're going to keep doing it.
Exactly. So something happened last night, I think. If I remember correctly. A little foggy, but I think something happened last night.
I don't think so.
The NFL draft, round 1. The NFL draft happened last night. Well, at least round 1 happened. Rounds 2 and 3 tonight, 7 o'clock, 4 through 7 tomorrow at noon. But we got a lot to talk about because that was a heck of a round 1 last night. Like there weren't really last year we had the huge player trades. Like AJ Brown got traded basically when the
awesome.
When the Titans were like on the clock or the Eagles were on the clock. All that stuff was like super awesome. But last night, the first round is just always fun. But last night just seemed really, really fun because we got landing spots for a bunch of rookies. A quarterback fell. 3 quarterbacks went top 4. 2 running backs went in the top 12. Like what the heck is going on here?
It was chaos. It was okay. We do this every year. We're like, there's going to be so many trades. There's going to be shocking picks. And it actually happened. Like me and my buddies talk about this for like every year. Like there's going to be 5 trades in the top 10. And if you count the Bears trade, there were 5 trades in the top 12 or the top 15 or whatever it is. So it lived up to the hype, which is nice. And it also led to, I think, a good amount of change in Dynasty, which is why we're here.
Right.
Like there's actually things that happened. It was for what felt like a lackluster draft class, the last probably month and a half or so. The amount of fantasy relevant players that went in the first, just like any other year. I think, what is it, 8 guys, 8 skill positions, and then quarterbacks included, I think is the number. So there is plenty to talk about. There are plenty of guys to be extremely excited about. And let's get into it, man. I'm pumped.
Yeah. So we got some comments already coming in from people.
Yep.
Toronto Dave is in the chat. Draft season, baby. Let's go. Paul is a channel member. What's up, Paul? So thank you for the support. And guys out there, be more like Paul. Become a channel member. Gain access to all of the extra content that we have for you guys. And you get the cool badges that you guys can see in the chat too. Tim. So I guess let's just get right into it. Bijan Robinson, Atlanta Falcons, 8th overall. Tim is asking, what is the worst possible result for Bijan now in this Falcons offense?
Or Tim, clarify, are you asking, was that the worst possible result?
There's no way.
Is that what you're saying? Because it's not. Like, I want that to be clear. Falcons might be the best possible landing spot. He's going to see 350 touches. Could see 350 touches, right? A bunch of targets, hopefully, and it's going to run 1,000 times. I'm very, very happy there. He feels like at minimum top 10. Like volume and skill should just drive him up. He's a first-round draft pick in redraft, in like 1 QB redraft leagues. If you're talking just this season.
I'm looking at I think his floor is like Najee Harris, like absolute floor. Like maybe the offense just isn't good. He's not that efficient with the amount of volume that he does get. And Najee was Najee was RB14 on the year last year. Like I feel like that's floor.
But the thing is, like this offense can run. It will be an efficient offense. It's you know what I mean? Like Najee Harris has not been efficient the last 2 years. That's not much of a surprise. I will be shocked if Bijan is inefficient in this offense. We just saw Tyler Algier, was it Caleb Huntley? And I'm sure there's another running back I'm forgetting. Cordell Patterson. All hyper efficient in this offense. So if Bijan is not, I'm going to be genuinely shocked.
Yeah. It feels like I'm looking at Nick Chubb's stat line last year, 300 for over 1,512 plus another 201 through the air. Like, I don't know what we should expect for Bijan receiving wise. Because if he has the Derrick Henry role in an Arthur Smith offense, Derrick Henry wasn't catching a ton of passes, but he didn't really need to be elite for fantasy. But Bijan has that, element to his game where he can be a really productive pass catcher. So I am interested to see. I think that's kind of the variable that is going to be the difference between him being just like a top 5 elite versus him being like competing for RB1 overall with like CMC and Austin Eckler and the guys who do catch a ton of passes. That's going to be the part that I think still remains to be seen. But rushing wise, how do you not just pencil him down for like 1,300, 1,400 yards, like off the rip?
If he led the NFL in rushing, I wouldn't bat an eye.
No, I wouldn't either. I think I said in my video that dropped this morning that like I wouldn't be surprised if he has an Ezekiel Elliott rookie season. Zeke rushed for 1,600. So I wouldn't be surprised at all. So
God, I love him. Easy 101. Nothing changes. Yeah,
100%. Yep. Let's see here. So we got some more members in the Colby's in the chat. Colby's a member. Is Gibbs still the runaway RB2 with that draft capital and the news that teams are calling about Swift as we speak?
Even if Swift didn't get traded, he's the RB2. That investment is really all I needed to see. Charbonnet could land with the Bengals in round 2. Gibbs is still my clear-cut RB2 because the draft capital argument, it carries so much weight. And in reality, most first-round running backs pay off almost immediately. Yeah. Like the draft capital thing, it really does matter. And this is what we talk about. We're like, yes, landing spot matters, but talent, which is usually dictated by draft capital, matters a ton as well. So Gibbs is the clear-cut RB2. I don't think there's any question.
Yep. Yeah, I 100% agree. And I think that he, like you said, without DeAndre Swift even being moved, this is a sign that they're kind of done with DeAndre Swift, just in general. Maybe they're not getting any good offers for him and they don't end up trading him. But Jahmyr Gibbs is going to come in, maybe not immediately. It might be some like really weird, like 3-headed timeshare, but long term, and even like by the end of this season into 2024, Gibbs is going to be, I think, the primary guy there for the majority of the touches, maybe like a 60-40 split with him and David Montgomery.
Right.
So I think, it's the draft capital argument, 100%. And I'm going to be really happy with Charbonnet as my RB3 if he does land with the Bengals and stuff. Like Gibbs could be my 106 and Charbonnet would be my 107 right after him. But you have to have Gibbs, I think, ahead of him just because of the draft capital.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brian's asking 10-team, 1 quarterback, and he has Herbert, Bijan, and Gibbs. Would we trade Jameson Williams in the 301 for Quentin Johnston and Tyler Algier? So I feel like this is basically saying, would you rather have Jameson Williams or Quentin Johnston right now?
Yeah, because you got a handcuff in 301. It's basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I still want Jameson Williams, but here's the thing. That could change tonight. I wouldn't like the Lions have 3 draft picks in the second round. Mm-hmm. If they grab a pass catcher, like a Jalen Hyatt, who can basically just replace Jameson Williams, or they get a Josh Downs, like they're just bringing in more competition, I'll probably go to Quentin Johnston because it, I think, signals some frustration with Jameson Williams. Then I'll probably go Quentin Johnston. So I don't know if I have an answer yet.
I think I want Quentin Johnston. I'd rather have I know what Tyler Algier is. I feel like that's a piece of this deal that I like, as I like knowing what Tyler Algier is as a handcuff behind Bijan Robinson. I'll take that over the 3.01. And I think I would take Quentin Johnston over Jameson Williams because, like you said, the Lions might not be done adding weapons to this offense. Yep. I think the Chargers are, unless like a tight end falls, but like I think the Chargers are basically done. Like Quentin Johnston, I think, is their piece for now and for the long term as Keenan Allen kind of, ages out a little bit. Mike Williams continues to maybe be injury prone, also kind of getting up there in age. I think I'd rather have Quentin Johnston and Tyler Algier in this trade. So, yeah.
Yeah.
City noise. Love it.
Oh, you getting all the
I just heard a bunch of
shit from from the street outside. It's nothing I can do. It's the middle of the day.
Paul Kincaid to the Bills. So we want to touch on that a little bit.
I don't know if you can hear all the cars.
I heard the car.
I just sit here. Crap. Dalton Kincaid, 1, was my tight end 1 coming in to this draft. He is still my tight end 1. I get Dawson Knox is there, but Dawson Knox is going to play in line. Like he is not going to take the Dalton Kincaid role. Now, year 1, I'm not going to be throwing Dalton Kincaid in the lineups, but long-term, Dalton Kincaid is just going to be a menace in this offense, I think. I think he's the second best pass catcher on that team right now.
Oh, easily.
They'll have to work him in, obviously, but I couldn't be happier with this landing spot. Yeah, I wanted this, Dallas, or the Chargers. Those are the 3 I would have been very excited about.
Yep. And so I had Michael Mayer as my tight end 1. I've flipped that now. Dalton Kincaid,
Yep.
I think, has to be the rookie tight end 1 because of the first round draft capital. It remains to be seen when and where all the other tight ends go as well. But it is just so, like, I'm trying to suppress like some hype for this because it's a rookie tight end. You know,
Right.
the Buffalo Bills, obviously Stephon Diggs is still going to be the alpha for however long he's there too. But so I'm trying to like kind of like calm myself down on this landing spot and not overreact to it. But it does just seem like it's going to be, you know, like imagine drafting Jimmy Graham when he was on the Saints, like before he broke out. That's what this feels like. Or like Travis Kelce. I saw somebody on Twitter say that the Bills have been beat enough by Travis Kelce that they just decided they wanted one of their own. So that's essentially what it feels like is Kincaid in this offense with Josh Allen as the number 2 pass catcher. And, you know, Bean has said that he wants him and Dawson Knox out there at the same time. And he's going to put Dalton Kincaid, you know, out wide or in the slot. He comped him to being like a weapon, like they used Cole Beasley as just like this slot weapon who's running short to intermediate routes. Also could work as a deep option. It just seems like they are going to know how to use Dalton Kincaid to the fullest. And that's going to be so fantastic for fantasy.
Absolutely. So, and I think an underrated piece of that is, like, again, if they want him to play that massive slot role, like the big slot, Khalil Shakir, guys, this is, don't do it. If you can trade him still, do it. I think he quietly takes a hit here, and I wasn't all that excited about Khalil Shakir anyways. Just something to keep in mind.
So I think the last question with this is, in a normal Superflex league, obviously there's a lot still to be determined tonight in terms of the back end of the first, but where do you think the highest would be that you're willing to take Dalton Kincaid in a rookie draft?
Where would I take him? Probably. So this is where I think I don't know if I have an answer until we see round 2 shake out. Because Josh Downs, Jalen Hyatt, if he lands extremely high, like there's guys that people could like over Dalton Kincaid, but he's in range, probably around like 110, 111, where we were taking Michael Mayer on Wednesday's mock draft stream.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, is he ahead of like Johnston or Addison or Flowers?
No, none of the first round wide receivers. They are all ahead of him as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so that probably puts him around the 11-ish range. Probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like Downs could be a coin flip there if one of the running backs, you know, gets another great landing spot in round 2, other than Charbonnet. They could jump Kincaid because, again, taking rookie tight ends in rookie drafts is a long-term investment, and most people don't have the patience for it. So I don't recommend most people do it. It just depends how you want to build your team.
Nice. Toronto Dave, how spicy would it be to think Gibbs is deserving of the 103 to the 1.05? I'm assuming this is in Superflex because he's the 102, 103 in one quarterback league. Yeah, so Superflex in 103 to 105. How spicy do you think it is?
I don't think it's spicy at all. I think that's where he should go. Like 106 is his floor. Any lower is insane. But at this point, right, if you want to put Anthony Richardson or Bryce Young ahead, don't blame you whatsoever. Yeah, I think it's fine.
Is he still ahead of JSN for you? Or I guess not still ahead, but did he bump JSN for you? How do you answer that now that we have landing spots for both of them?
I think yes, because I expected him to go in round 2.
Okay.
I had him there with the expectation he was going to be like an early round 2 pick, not necessarily
12,
not even top 30, top 25, top 15, top 12. So his draft capital far exceeded what I thought he would get. So I'm going to move him up.
Where are we at? Jacob wanted JSN to the Chargers so bad. God, we were a pick away.
My betting slips desperately needed that. I was sitting there thinking it was for sure happening.
Yeah. Do you, I'm trying to see if, so we have, this kind of fits in here with it a little bit. Since we're on the topic of JSN, Sco's asking, does JSN to Seattle incentivize divestiture? I don't know if I've ever used that word ever in my life, of DK Metcalf before the end of this year from a process standpoint?
No. Talent. DK is good. He's very, very talented. I'm not going to sell him. If anything, I'm going to buy if people are starting to look at this and say, man, DK Metcalf's in trouble. Because in reality, This is just a future replacement for Tyler Lockett.
Right.
And Lockett's about to be 31, 32 years old.
He has a massive out on his contract next offseason. They can save $10 million to cut him.
Exactly. So, no, it's not a DK thing. If anything, I'm going to go buy DK if people are thinking he's in trouble or, he's going to lose value. This offense already operates with 2 guys yearly, so I don't think it's a problem.
So now let's flip this over to JSN specifically. How do you feel about the landing spot for Seattle? Are we going to have to just be patient with him, or do you think that he is just that talented that he could come in and command a decent chunk of this offense off the rip?
We have to be patient. It's not a plug and play, right? He's going to pull in a 22 to 24% target share, right? He's not going to have a Garrett Wilson type year. He's just not going to have that volume available because he's behind 2 incredibly talented wide receivers. With that being said, talent over situation. We talk about it constantly. JSN is still the most, in my eyes at least, the most talented wide receiver in the draft. We're just going to have to slowly understand, okay, year 1 is probably going to be like an 800-yard season maybe, right? It can be 750 yards. But long-term, he's going to be very, very good. There's a reason he was still like the first wide receiver taken off the board.
I'm trying to find I don't know if we've ever had this situation where the clear-cut wide receiver 1 went to a situation where he's going to be at best wide receiver 3 to start.
It's weird because Ja'Marr Chase stepped into a busy wide receiver room. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. Boyd is solid, but Ja'Marr Chase is light years ahead of JSN. He's light years ahead of most players in the NFL, not named Justin Jefferson. So that's the only one I'm thinking of, a guy that stepped in and immediately, there's 3 talented guys.
I'm thinking of, I see, if you remember back, Calvin Ridley, when he got drafted there, he had Julio, prime Julio, basically. Then it took him, I think year 1 was good. I think he was in that 800-yard range, but he caught a ton of touchdowns.
Well, actually, here's one. It was in the second rounder, but DK Metcalf came in with Doug Baldwin and Tyler Lockett.
There you go.
Had 800 yards year 1.
Seattle.
Problem solved. JSN's fine.
JSN is fine. Yep, I'm still drafting him 105, 106. If you want to have Gibbs ahead of him, I think I'm on board with that take. I think that's where I'm at now.
Yes.
I've been flip-flopping basically all draft season, but now draft capital and potentially not iffy landing spot, but it's just not super ideal. And I'll just go with Gibbs over JSN.
Yep, I'm with you.
Where we at? Oh, Ridley Truther's in the chat. He said that he got laughed at about a month ago, harassed by one specific league mate when he said that Bijan was going to the Falcons. Same bitter Titans fan who doesn't think A.J. Brown is elite. Poor guy.
That man he doesn't know what's going on.
Poor guy. I feel like a lot of leagues have that guy. You probably think of who that is. Spontaneous Ego says, dude, I love the picture though. Look at that avatar.
Goddamn.
That's a high quality picture.
That's good. I like it.
But all right. So now we're into the quarterbacks now. Opinion on Anthony Richardson to the Colts. I was of the opinion that Will Levis would have been a better fit, but will Anthony Richardson still get the job done?
I don't have a definitive answer if Anthony Richardson is for sure him or not. You know what I mean? But the staff in Indianapolis, Shane Steichen just helped bring Jalen Hurts along. He's going to be able to hopefully do something with Anthony Richardson if it's, in his range of outcomes. So I like the fit a lot. I think that coaching staff is well suited to bring along a, inaccurate, high rushing floor type passer. They just did it with Jalen Hurts. So I love it. He's 102.
I was about to say it. He jumped to my rookie QB 1. I mean, it was Young, Stroud, and Richardson were all basically in a tier for me, and I had it in that order. But I'm bumping Richardson up to my QB 1 now because of the Colts landing spot. Because that was I loved the Colts because I wanted Will Levis to go there because of the situation, the stability in that coaching staff, what they just did with Jalen Hurts, the weapons that he would have with Michael Pittman and Alec Pierce and Jelani Woods, Jonathan Taylor. They could even add somebody tonight and be, a second option to not replace Alec Pierce, but also just be there and put Pierce down to wide receiver 3?
Hold on. Did you just see the sleeper notification that just came through?
No, I don't have sleeper.
Oh, that's right. It's so damn weird. I'm already getting FaceTimed over it. I'm just going to read it. Antonio Brown has announced he is returning to the NFL this year as a member of the Baltimore Ravens.
What?
What?
No, you're lying. This is
what
false.
What the hell?
No, this is false.
It's a sleeper notification. Unless they got duped.
He tweeted out. He himself. Wait.
So the first comment is, do the Ravens know this? Which is absolutely hilarious. But what the hell? Somebody go look on Twitter.
He tweeted out on his own account a picture of him flexing in a Ravens jersey that says, excited to return to the NFL this year, #Ravens flock. And then
he's a wild card. Like, he could just be screwing with people, but Antonio Brown's a Raven.
What? This can't be real, right?
What the hell?
Nah, this can't be real. If just got the notification too. Lamar just wanted every washed receiver out there. Julio next. Do the Ravens know this?
No, they're going to bring in Julio. They're going to bring in AJ Green. They're really going to do it up.
There's no, I don't believe that this is real.
What the hell is happening?
Okay, so,
well, I mean, it's a 1-year thing. I'm going to use it to buy Flowers if he slips in drafts. I'm going to use it to buy Bateman. But what the absolute hell is going on?
Dez will be the cherry on top. They're going to bring Dez back.
Julio, AJ Green, Dez. Bring in all three.
Julio. Dude, the all 2015 team.
Oh, he's all time.
Is Larry Fitzgerald still available? Oh, man.
I'm so confused. Okay.
All right.
So I don't know where we were, but that happened.
We can reel it back in. We were talking about Anthony Richardson, and I saw down in here too. Whiskey Traveler asked, "Can we talk about AR for a minute? The guy was historically bad in college. Pre-combine, we were all hating on him at the NFL level. Now we're all going nuts. Feels like a massive bust." So
he could be he is the ultimate upside swing. That's what you're doing here at 102. Like, you're taking a guy. He has the skill set to be the overall QB1 any given year. He also has the ability to not be a starting quarterback in 3 years. So it's just, how risky do you want to get? And when you kind of understand that quarterbacks are inherently risky, like rookie quarterbacks are, I may as well just take the upside swing. That's how I'm viewing it.
Yep. I view it the exact same way. I think it's just the coaching staff, the weapons he has out of every rookie quarterback that got drafted this year. So between the three of them, Richardson has the best coaching staff, the best weapons to throw to right now, the best running back to throw to, but also have the run game support. And he offers the elite upside of mobility. Like, he could just be Justin Fields, what Justin Fields was last year.
Yeah.
He's a top 5 quarterback, and he's going to gain tremendous dynasty value because he's just going to be able to run for almost like 1,000 yards, probably score a decent amount of touchdowns too. And the passing game is just kind of like almost just a floor for him. It's just a buffer. We're really in on the rushing upside. While
we're on quarterbacks, I want to bring something up real quick. So kudos to you for your hot take Wednesday night, calling the Texans trading up. Well done. But giving up, can we talk about how insane it is? They gave up their first round pick.
Their first?
So, because in my view, the way I was looking, I was like, okay, great. They got CJ Stroud next year. If they don't take JSN at 12, I was like, wow, they're going to be in a prime spot to take Marvin Harrison Jr. and just repair him with CJ Stroud. And they traded that pick away, and I was so angry. I just don't understand what they're doing.
No, I don't get it either.
Definition of like bad teams stay bad.
Yeah, and that's where this kind of comes in with like Richardson wanting to take Richardson over Stroud is, you can say that, well, they're going to give more weapons around CJ Stroud, right? But they don't have a first round. Well, they have the Browns first round pick next year, but they don't have their first.
That should be a bad pick, I would think, if Watson bounces back.
Right. Like, that should be like a playoff pick.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they traded a second, I think, too, right? So
Yeah,
it's kind of like, and this is how it
33.
kind of felt about Carolina too. Like Carolina's in the same situation where they traded a massive amount of picks and their future just to go up to get Bryce Young, and they have DJ Chark and Adam Thielen. Like they could find guys on day 3 or late day 2 and stuff that they could hit. They could find a Michael Pittman. They could find a T Higgins. A
Yep,
DK Metcalf somewhere in there. But it just seems like those teams kind of mortgaged their short-term future to go get the quarterback, where Indy already has stuff in place and they inserted the quarterback now. Even if he is questionable, he is iffy. If he hits, that's such a win for Indy, and they still have the draft capital to go out. They could, draft somebody tonight to be a wide receiver 2. They could draft somebody next year in the first round to be another wide receiver 1 with Michael Pittman. Like
right.
they have options there that the other 2 teams don't seem like they have. And of course they could all make moves. They could, things can change so quickly, but I feel more confident about the situation that AR landed into.
Love it.
That he's my rookie QB1 in my 1.02. I have a 1.02 in my trade addicts lead with Russ. I'm taking Anthony Richardson. Like if you put me on the clock right now, which I probably am because 101's Bijan, I'm taking Richardson. So
you've been
whoever's at 103, you're on the clock right now.
Right. Well, and at least Carolina, they still kept their second rounder. They give up a later second, so they still at least have an early second. The Texans just they don't have a pick till the 3rd. So it's I get it. It's confusing, but whatever.
Yeah. Yep. Jacob's down here. Big RG3 trade vibes for Texans and Panthers.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the trade wasn't even for a quarterback. Their trade was for a defensive end. Like, I get you want an anchor, but come on.
They went for it. They
really did.
For it. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, Cameron Ward Truther's in here. What's up? 14-team Superflex 103 and 303, or Amon-Ra St. Brown in a 24 first.
This to me is easy. I want to hear what you think, though.
Amon-Ra.
Yep. Yeah. Especially the first is the cherry on top. Like the 103 for Amon-Ra straight up is interesting. The 2024 first just throws it over the top.
Yep. I'll take the Amon-Ra side.
Yeah.
In a 12-team PBR, start 2 tight ends. So the tight end premium by starting 2 is 109 too early for Kincaid.
No. I don't know if it's too early in a 1 QB league, in like a Superflex 1 QB league, honestly. It might feel a smidge early, but you can still justify it there, I think.
I think in a 1 quarterback league, he could go like 107.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely you could.
BTFU 12-team Superflex looking to move to grab JSN and sent this offer for the 106, 24 second, 303, and he'll send Treylon Burks at the 201 and the 211.
Yeah, I want JSN over Burks pretty comfortably. I think he's just a better prospect and a better player. And future second's great. The 201 it's going to be solely dependent on what shakes out today. We have no idea who that 201 is. So I might hold off and just see how the 2nd and 3rd round shakes out a little bit. But I think I'm fine with JSN.
The only thing that gives me pause on this, but I guess it's not really pause because I feel great about whoever I take at the 106. Like, you're not guaranteed to get JSN at the 106. Like, I feel like it's more realistic now because I feel like people kind of are iffy about Seattle. Jahmyr Gibbs has top 12 draft capital. The 3 quarterbacks are in there too. I feel like it's more realistic now than what it was like 2 days ago to get JSN at 106. But I'd be happy with this trade in general for whoever I get at the 106. Any of the 3 quarterbacks, JSN or Gibbs, I would make this move. The 24 second you could take over the 211, and then the Burks in the 201 for whoever of those guys in the 303. I would make that move. I'd take the 1.06.
The 106 is like that's a tier cutoff. It's a clear tier break. So I'm good to get there.
Yep. Kincaid will be a slot receiver in Buffalo. Yep.
That's the dream. Like that's what we want.
That's what we wanted for Kyle Pitts. Is Kincaid better than Kyle Pitts?
Don't do this. Don't do this. Absolutely stop. I would
wonder
get
what
off.
the
I will
what's
sign
the
off right
plus
now.
if you traded away Kyle Pitts for Dalton Kincaid plus, what's the plus? What's the plus?
A ton. Like a man, like the answer is a lot more than somebody's probably willing to pay.
Mine
Because
would be a mid
Kincaid,
first.
oh, I want much more than that. My thing is Kincaid. I like Dalton Kincaid, but I don't think there's any world we see the ceiling of 1,000 yards like year one, like we saw with Pitts. So you're going to be going into year two with questions. I truly believe that. So I'd rather try to buy later.
I don't think you're going to be able to.
I hope you can't, because I'm going to have a lot of Dalton Kincaid. But it's tough, man. Like Kyle Pitts, I know we hate saying it, it's a generational talent. Like he is a true difference making type player. I don't know if Dalton Kincaid has like overall tight end one in his range of outcomes. That's lofty.
I think he can get there. I think he can. But
Okay.
but like my plus would be get in that tier. Get in that 106 tier. That's my plus.
I'd want
Kincaid for Pitts, quarterback and Kincaid for Pitts.
I'd want 106 and then something from 2024.
Okay.
That's how I'm viewing it.
No. It'll be interesting. I'm going to try and find trade finder trades, see if that happens or not.
Oh, that'd be a good one to see. I genuinely don't know what it would take. It just depends how high somebody is on Kincaid, honestly.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let me scroll down. We got member questions. Paul asking a question. He's a channel member. Asking 10-team Superflex PPR, Sutton, Javonte, the 208, or DJ Moore and Rashad Penny. These are a bunch of names I just don't like.
Right, like I don't want to buy anybody on this list. Admittedly at all. if I'm gonna take one, I'll probably take DJ Moore, Rashad Penny. I think DJ Moore is the best player in this deal, especially with Javonte's knee injury, the knee issues going on, because who knows what he's like. First of all, when he's coming back and what he's like when he returns. So I'll take DJ Moore and hope Justin Fields takes a massive leap as a passer. But neither, I guess, is my ideal pick.
I would scrap it and try again. But I would take DJ Moore. Gun to my head, I'd take DJ Moore.
Yeah, I'll just take best player.
I'm so sorry. I don't want to attempt your name. In a 2 QB league, Trevor Lawrence or T. Higgins plus the 104.
Goddamn.
Addy Polly. There.
Trevor Lawrence, T. Higgins, 104. Trevor Lawrence.
I'm taking Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. I get the appeal. Though. I get the appeal. I do get the appeal. But the elite QB, especially if you're going to take a rookie quarterback, you're just throwing so much risk into the equation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll take Trevor Lawrence. I like that. Let me go back. Where was I? Flowers or Addison?
Jordan Addison. He comes away with the best landing spot, I think, of anybody here. He immediately steps in as wide receiver 2, and Adam Thielen, when he was still good, like was a good wide receiver still, was a stud for fantasy. So I am extremely excited about Jordan Addison.
I tried to come up this morning, like I was just like sitting in the shower trying to come up with, my favorite meme, the Predator meme, where they both like hold hands and stuff like that.
Yes.
I was trying to come up with something where it was like a TCU wide receiver goes at 21, and then the Vikings draft a wide receiver with the first name that starts with J, and they're like trying to come up with some sort of thing like that.
1 pick after or whatever.
Yeah, this one was 2 picks after, unfortunately, so that didn't fully fit. But
damn
that, but yeah, it just feels like the Vikings seem to know, and I'm really just basing this off of them hitting on Justin Jefferson, but they hit on Adam Thielen too as an undrafted free agent. They hit on Stephon Diggs as well. I mean, they didn't keep Stephon Diggs, but they drafted him. He was a hit in Minnesota and then became an even bigger hit when he got Josh Allen. I trust what the Minnesota Vikings are doing at the wide receiver position, kind of like how I trust what the Steelers do. Other teams like that just seem to know these kind of positions and which players are good and which ones aren't. Jordan Addison, like I still have Quentin Johnson as my rookie wide receiver too, but I gained a lot more confidence in Jordan Addison because of the landing spot. Like I had him ranked ahead of like all the other running backs after Charbonnet, like over Kendrick Miller, all that. I didn't feel great about making that pick, but now I feel good. Like if I'm sitting there at like 109, 110, whatever it is with Jordan Addison, I feel good about hitting that draft button and taking him, because I do believe that he has a great opportunity in Minnesota across from Justin Jefferson from day one too.
I think he very well could be the highest scoring wide receiver from this class in year one.
Probably.
I think that should be like the betting favorite outcome.
Mm-hmm.
He is the only one that steps in as the immediate wide receiver 2, like guaranteed the wide receiver 2 in an offense that loves to pass, is trying to move on from a running back, and has a terrible defense.
Mm-hmm.
That is a recipe for success in fantasy from the wide receiver spot. So I'd be happy. Like, I could see people taking him over Charbonnet at 107. I'm personally not making that move, but unless Sharp slips to round three. But yeah. I don't think he will. Yeah, I'm excited about it. Is he your wide receiver 2 now?
No, he's still my 3.
Still
but I feel more confident. Yeah, it's still Quentin Johnson.
Got to check in every couple of days.
Ask me again tomorrow. I might have. So I need to replace both of these jerseys.
Oh, no.
And someday you might just see that I just have a Minnesota Vikings Jordan Addison jersey back there. So
I love it.
Cameron Ward Truther back at it. Diggs in the 24 first, likely top 5 or the 1.03.
Diggs in the first. Oh,
especially.
Yeah. If it's actually top 5, yes. It's early to start predicting where people are going to land. But if that's the case, Diggs in the top 5.
Oh, Hopkins and Andre Johnson. This was to go back with like elite wide receiver pairing with That's
a good one.
Forgot about Baldwin. What a vibe. He was awesome.
He was a touchdown machine.
I scrolled through all the Antonio Brown news.
Can't believe that.
No, that's insane. I still don't actually believe it. Like, I won't believe it until I see him in training camp with the Ravens jersey on.
And then he takes it off at halftime and leaves.
Oh, no.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, supposedly Antonio Brown is now a Baltimore Raven.
Supposedly.
Dude, he's a nut job. I love him. He's so damn weird.
Edwin asked, what are your thoughts on this 10-team start 9 Superflex PPR? Has the 10 holy.
It's everything but the 5.
You have all of it? Everything but 5 and 9? You take all the players. Just take them all.
Like who do you think gets taken at 5? You just leave the one guy you don't really care about getting. Like,
do you take all 3 quarterbacks? He has Lamar and Watson. Do you take all 3?
I'd probably take 2 of them.
I'd take Anthony Richardson for sure.
Yes, I'd take the massive upside swing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd probably take Bryce Young, who's my QB too. And then I'll take Bijan and Gibbs. I think that that has to happen. And then at 6, you either take the 3rd quarterback or you take JSN. Or ideally, you trade a bunch of these. These picks.
I was going to ask, do you kind of game this a little bit? You can take Bijan, Richardson, JSN, and Gibbs, and then you're guaranteed the QB2 at 6. Like, you're guaranteed one of Young or Stroud at 6.
Yeah.
And then 7 and 8, you see, if Charbonnet is still a good pick there at 7, maybe he's not. Maybe you take Jordan Addison. Maybe you take Dalton Kincaid. You have.
Also, just for fun, take Bijan 4. So the guy at 5 thinks he might slip.
Yeah.
And then let it simmer for a minute. Just really, really lean into that.
Did you see J-Mike had all 12 first-round picks in like 2021 for a Trade Addicts league? He had all 12 firsts, and he took Trevor Lawrence at the 112.
I love that. Just let people sweat. Like the guy sitting at 2-1.
He's like, oh my God, he's not going to take Bijan.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Nope.
Just for pure fun, do that. Also, the most underrated part of the whole draft happening is I'm having leagues come back to life right now.
Oh, yes.
Like out of nowhere, I've gotten trade offers from people that have not opened this app in 4 months. Like, I'm loving this. That's
Yep.
what I'm looking
Yep.
at here. Oh, Jesus.
Grimley's asking Devonta Smith for JSN and Treylon Burks. Pretty simple, 2-for-1 wide receivers.
So if I'm competing, like if I am a true contender, I'm going to keep Smith. But if I'm in like a full rebuild, I don't mind rolling the dice on JSN and Burks.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer there, but that's how I'm viewing it.
Yeah, I think in like 80-85% of situations, I'm taking Devonta Smith. Unless you're in like you just tear it down. Devonta Smith is like your second best asset, third best asset. Just hit reset on JSN and swing and hope that Burks hits.
Yep.
Break up your value probability hits on into 2 players. Anthony Richardson fails, and then the Colts either get a new quarterback in 2024 or give him Marvin Harrison Jr. I like the second option. I think the second option is good.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
All right. I just got an interesting trade offer that I would like to bring to the group.
You have to comment it. I can't.
Okay.
You're actually doing it.
Yeah. Give me a second.
Des DePez feels so much better about owning the 103. He's either getting Richardson or Young now. Did not really feel good about Stroud. Yeah, I like it. I feel like still people will not take Anthony Richardson 102.
I don't think they will. I can't type. I'm gonna get this in. It's not even long. It's a very simple trade.
Okay. We have a comment here from Dynasty League Football. The 103 or the likely Justin. We just did this with the projecting.
You don't understand how truly bad this team is. Like, as in, like we do max points for. That's what decides your draft pick, and he was 600 points behind the worst team last year. Like he's bad.
Oh,
like it's. We all know what it is.
So, do you want Caleb Williams?
Or JSN / Jahmyr Gibbs.
Is that who you're taking at 3?
It's a 1 QB league. Sorry.
So no. Okay, so Caleb Williams is not
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison Jr. or JSN or Gibbs.
That's what I'm thinking.
Can you get like a second thrown in?
I'm gonna get something added if I can, but I'm probably gonna take it. I got a title team anyways. May as well just push it another year back.
Thank you for the comment, Dynasty League Football.
Happy to help.
Gerard asked an interesting question. Is there a landing spot for Charbonnet where you would take him over Jordan Addison? Is he already ahead of Jordan Addison for you?
Assuming he lands in the second and he's not like
on the Colts.
Right, like he doesn't fall behind like a top. Yeah, but legitimately though, like he doesn't land on like a top 5 or 6 like dynasty running back team. I'm probably gonna take him. Like if he lands in Miami, even with the Chargers, I would love because they're gonna move on from Eckler.
It'd be an investment at that point. Yep.
Right. Minnesota, I'm good with. I think they'd move on from Dalvin Cook if they make that pick. Cincy, yep. There's a lot of even
Chicago.
Dallas, there's a lot of teams that could take Zach Charbonnet. I'm going to be very, very happy.
What about Chicago?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Okay.
The Bears want to run the ball. He would immediately push Herbert and Foreman down.
So I think the question is better, at least for us, the question is better framed as, is there a landing spot where Charbonnet lands that we would not take him over Jordan Addison? That's kind of how this is.
That's a better way to
reframed.
Round 3.
Round 3 or
to round 3.
Or Colts, Jets, Seahawks.
Yeah, the Seahawks would be gross. The Raiders, I'm not crazy about.
I think if they make that move in round 2, that would show me that Jacobs is gone next year.
Right, but we've also feel like we've played this game before. What wasn't there another roster? Was it Javonte Williams where they brought back Melvin Gordon? We're like, well, Melvin's obviously gone.
Oh yeah.
We've been
playing that game for like 2 years with AJ Dillon. So
right, so like that worries me. Also the Saints. I would love Sharps on the Saints. I'd be very happy with that. The Titans. It'll be a 1-year window. You just got to wait. I don't think so. No, I think as long as he goes in round 2 and like doesn't land all of those superstar running back teams where he's buried for 2 or 3 years.
You're taking him over Addison.
Yeah, I think so.
Colby, where does JSN fall in terms of Dynasty wide receiver rankings right now? So overall, where do you slot Jordan Addison in?
Let me pull up rankings right now so I can speak about this.
So in April ADP, just to give you a frame of reference, in April ADP, Addison was slotted in as the wide receiver 25. He was directly behind Watson, Burks, and Godwin, and ahead of Johnston, Judy, Pickens, and McLaurin. So that's where he was consensusly valued in April ADP. And I think I would probably have him ahead of.
I have him ahead of Burks and like Pittman, Godwin.
What about Jameson?
Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. Like, what other Jameson?
Jamison Crowder?
Yeah. Slightly ahead of Jamison Crowder. Yeah, I'll take him over those guys too. So he's probably like wide receiver 18, 19 in that range, around the Chris Godwin range, probably.
I was going to say probably around wide receiver 20.
Yeah. I think that's more than fine.
22 in that. Yeah. Back end wide receiver 2. Yep. Where was I? Ridley Truther, 12-team super flex, 2.5 tight end premium. Oh my God. Lamar, Higgins, Gesicki, 108, or either Allen and Diggs or Mahomes, Deontay.
Lamar, Higgins.
Holy 2.5 tight end premium.
Gesicki, 108. Allen and Diggs or Mahomes and Deontay. I want Lamar and Higgins. Yeah. The 108 pushes it over. Gesicki, I don't particularly care about still.
No.
Even if it could be.
Well, I mean, if he catches like 40 passes in this league, that's essentially like
90 catches.
90 catches.
Holy
That's
crap.
So dumb.
It's 100. It's 100 catches.
Yes, it is. Yeah, 40 times 2.5. Yeah.
Holy crap. But the thing is, like, he's still so far down below all the other tight ends that are already better than him.
Yeah, but that pushes him up position, like over like wide receivers and stuff. Yeah.
For your flex, yeah.
I want Lamar and Higgins.
Yeah, pretty comfortably, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Gesicki was a high-end wide receiver too in these settings. Holy crap.
Timothy has DK in a 1-quarterback PPR dynasty and the 1.02. Would you take Gibbs or pair your JSN with DK like the Seahawks just did?
Gibbs.
I would also take Gibbs.
Gibbs is my 102, yeah, regardless of what your team looks like.
Mm-hmm. I love that we now have an answer to the Gibbs JSN.
I know.
That's so great.
The thing is, if Gibbs would have gone like late 20s, I think it could be like, whatever you feel. But going 12, give me Gibbs over JSN.
So I think the answer here is Gibbs. In a 1 QB league at 1.02, you're taking Gibbs.
Yes.
But I think this sparks an interesting question. Where are you taking Richardson in a 1 QB league?
Not before any of the first-round wide receivers. Not before the first 3 running backs.
Kincaid.
He's like right on that line.
So that puts him around 1-8. Oh, yeah, 9, 10?
8, 9. You guys say, like, I mean, again, if another running back pops up into the second round, I'm going to slide Richardson down again. I'll probably look at him around 109. Realistically, I probably wouldn't take him to like 112. I think after round 2 shakes out, we have teams for these players.
That feels right. 106 and a 24 second or 2 24 firsts.
I'm going to assume super flex. Probably the 2 future firsts.
I'll take 2 firsts.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's interesting. In a 1 QB, that's easy. In a super flex, that's a little more difficult because you get one of the top tier players. But I still think I prefer the firsts.
Yep.
The pairs.
Jason, rebuilding team, 12-team Superflex league. Own the 1. He hit. I feel the pain. You hit enter a little too early when you're not supposed to on a mobile phone. Mobile phone. That was weird.
100?
Team Superflex owned the 101, 103, 106, 111, 203, 206, 207, 4 firsts, 3 seconds, 325. Oh my God. Are you still taking Bijan or are you going 2 quarterbacks with the 101 and 103?
So all I feel like there's extra information that we didn't need in this comment.
No, but I love it though. He has so much more future draft picks that he could either he could find another Bijan. I mean, there's not really going to be another Bijan.
That doesn't exist.
Well, Nick Singleton in 2025. So
could 2 years away. Bijan. Bijan and a quarterback.
I'd be trying to trade out of the 101 probably, which you've probably heard that advice like for the past like 4 months.
Yeah,
but
you 100%.
I would take Bijan. It's just the stability of the player. Like I feel like there's outside of terribly massive injury, I don't think there's really any reason that he doesn't succeed and isn't elite and isn't like just a blue chip asset that you can still trade for in the future. Like once people start seeing it, you'll get offers for quarterbacks later if you want to make that move.
Yeah, so, when you're ready to compete, I prefer just trading for veteran quarterbacks. Honestly, I don't want to hold like they're rookie quarterbacks are some of the riskiest assets in all of Dynasty. Look at Zach Wilson; he was supposed to be a star. Mac Jones also bad. So Kenny Pickett also bad. Like it's very difficult to hit on rookie quarterbacks.
Let's see if we can quickly go through some of these. JSN or Bryce Young with the 102 in Superflex. Anthony Richardson. But I would take Bryce Young over JSN. If your quarterback is Bryce Young, I'd take him over
completely
JSN. Connor has the 1, 2, and 4. Should I go Bijan Gibbs, then JSN, or Quentin Johnson, or should I go JSN at the 1.02?
1, 2, and 4.
1 QB.
Oh, okay. 1 QB. That changes things. Bijan and Gibbs.
Yep.
And then JSN would be the 104 if he's there, or he shouldn't be there. But if he is, and then if not him, Jordan Addison.
Addison's your 104.
Or actually, no, Charbonnet.
Ooh, there you go.
Duh.
Charbonnet.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't know what that was. We're just going to move on. J-Dub has the 1, 2, and 3 overall in a 1 quarterback league. This should be my first year of contention after a complete rebuild. With Jason going to a team where he will be the 3rd option in the pass game, should I punt the 3?
I don't think so. Like you just want to acquire high, use to acquire players you think are hyper talented.
Yeah.
And if you think JSN is hyper talented, then you keep that pick. If not, you trade it for receivers you think are better. Like that's it sounds obvious, but like that's the route you should be thinking.
I think there's a couple ways that you can go. I'm trying to worst case scenario some of this stuff. Worst case scenario, I think you say that this should be my first year of contention after a complete rebuild. Maybe it's not. Maybe some of the players that you think are going to do well end up not doing well, other that kind of stuff. Not saying that you didn't do your rebuild right. I'm just saying, just in case that doesn't happen, then you have JSN, which I think is going to be a fantastic dynasty asset. There could be on the opposite side is where if you take JSN, he overproduces expectations as the 3rd option in that game. Maybe he's not the 3rd option. Maybe he automatically bumps Tyler Lockett. Maybe he's competing with DK Metcalf now and just kind of overproduces, in which case, he'd be an amazing dynasty asset. I just feel like that there really isn't a bad situation or scenario where taking JSN at 103 isn't the right move. Unless you get a trade offer that you can trade out that's better than JSN, but that's just, you're just trading away JSN for a good trade. So I would take Bijan Gibbs and JSN.
Yes.
What would you take for Isaiah Pacheco? So we saw 1 day 3 running back already die. There are 2 more potentially on the docket. What are you taking for Isaiah Pacheco?
Mid-second. I've been taking a mid-second since the season ended. I'm probably still going to take a mid-second.
I think what would be really go for a 2025 first.
Oh,
It's like far enough away that the other managers are probably like, oh, it's a 25 first. Who cares? I'll take the shot on Pacheco.
Right. Like, oh, this will be easy, right? Chiefs RB1. But
yeah. And then in case he's not.
And here's the thing. Even if he is, he probably won't be in 2025 or 2024. Like, I'll be surprised if he's surviving 2 years. And for a mainly rushing only asset, I'm happy to turn him into extra firsts whenever.
That answer also applies to Dameon Pierce.
You should be able to get more for Dameon Pierce.
I think so. But yeah. I just saw Colby's question in here, but we kind of already just like naturally answered this. We said like 108, member 109.
Colby.
Yeah. Yeah. Harrison or JSN over Gibbs by 1,000,000 miles. Wow.
This is probably going back to my trade, I think.
Yeah. It's a lot of miles. Gesicki was a high. I just thought wide receiver too. That's so dumb.
Gesicki as a wide receiver too is nonsense in that format.
When do you think Richardson goes in 1 QB drafts? I think the question of when he goes might differ from where we would want him to go. I would be curious to see that. We'll have on DLF, if you're a DLF subscriber, we have our own rookie ADP, but then we also have a tab for MFL rookie ADP, which like sources and pulls in actual MFL rookie drafts that have taken place. And then you can filter down by 1 quarterback, super flex, IDP, scoring, all that kind of stuff. You can filter that down to get like how real rookie ADP looks. So that is something that I use a lot, basically like in May, once drafts kind of start taking place in real leagues.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be keeping my eye on that on 1 quarterback ADP for these quarterbacks, specifically for Richardson. Chris asked he traded the 103 and the 209 and Pittman for 101 before the draft last night. Felt like it was a good price to move up, but I feel even better with the Atlanta landing spot.
I love that trade.
Yes.
I really like that trade. Even with Richardson going to Indy, I really like that trade. And yeah, I think, again, Atlanta is probably best case scenario for a team we know is just going to hyper utilize him. It's fantastic.
Yep. I think, that was it. Did you see? I've been pondering, do you think that if he was there for Detroit, would they have taken him over Gibbs? It's a complete, like, just hypothetical situation, but I've been like racking my brain on it.
I mean, that team's run by morons, so maybe.
They might have been one of those teams that had Gibbs over Bijan pre-draft.
It would make so much sense if it was them. It would make so much sense if it was the Lions.
Speaking of the Lions, BJ asked if you like David Montgomery anymore.
You need Jamal Williams level production for him to matter, which means he has to fall into the end zone 1,000 times. I think that's the role he's about to be given.
Yep.
So
I didn't like Monty as much as consensus seemed to after the trade.
The free agency signing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. But I don't like Monty a lot now, even more. But it's kind of like I feel like I think Monty's situation didn't really change. It's more DeAndre Swift. Like Gibbs is going to play the Swift role that he was going to play with David Montgomery.
Yes.
So I feel like Monty's situation hasn't really changed all that much. So maybe it's wrong to kind of say that his value has dropped, but I think his value has dropped, but maybe it's incorrect to think that it has dropped.
I don't know, because this is how I'm viewing it. The Lions clearly did not want to give DeAndre Swift like meaningful work, a meaningful workload.
Right.
We don't know how they feel about Jahmyr Gibbs. They may want to actually give Gibbs
they wanted to give Swift
plus work. Right. So that could change in my eyes. Like that's how I'm viewing it, where I think, assuming Swift gets moved, I would expect Jahmyr Gibbs to have a larger workload than DeAndre Swift if it was Swift and Montgomery.
I could see that.
That's how I'm looking at it.
I think back to Swift's rookie season. He was competing with like Adrian Peterson, for like touches. Like it took him half the season. I think it was like post their bye week is when he really started to pop off. So it was like 8 or 9 games before Swift did anything.
Yeah.
But they obviously drafted Gibbs like a whole round ahead of where they drafted Swift. But but I think it'll be interesting. I think Monty might have good value early on. Like he might be like an early season winner as Gibbs is getting on board.
Yep.
But yeah,
I think people will overcorrect on the Montgomery value. But I do think his like on-field production dropped or took a hit. But I think people will overestimate how much it takes a hit.
Joe asks, what extra piece would you want to trade back from 103 to 104 in a Superflex league?
If I can get like a 2024 first or no 2024 second. Like that's like the Bears going back from 9 to 10. Just get a future pick. You're gonna probably make the same pick anyways. Go on your day.
Yep, I like it. Jason said he's tried trading out of the 101 several times, but he'll take Bijan. Yep.
Yep.
And then he'll trade Bijan probably in like 4 months anyway, so it'll all work out.
Right.
Falcons fan here. He traded the 107 next Waddle and Dobbins for 101 and 111 and 2 QB and IDP Dynasty.
So 107. I'm assuming first next means a 2024 first, like first next year.
Yeah.
Waddle and Dobbins
for Bijan the 111. That's a hefty price.
It's more than I would have liked to pay. I would have liked that didn't make any damn sense. It's more than I would have liked to have paid.
I think you're a Dobbins or a 24 first over. Maybe not a full 24 first over, but
over.
You're a little over. But you have Bijan Robinson and you're a Falcons fan. So that could just be really, really fun for you.
Yeah.
In which case then,
who cares? Dynasty's supposed to be fun.
All right, so CR is in here. I'm seeing him. He says that Gibbs is going to be the biggest trap in the draft. And he says he won't get any goal line work. He didn't over 3 years in college. They hope that he's Kamara. Plus, the Lions' defense is awful, so good luck being a run-first offense.
Well, if he's devil's advocate to this comment is if he's Kamara, Gibbs doesn't want them to be a run-first offense. So that's a plus in my eyes. I just think Gibbs is talented. This is a talent over situation type of thing. And again, I think Gibbs is a very, very talented player. So I think he's going to do very well in Detroit behind a fantastic offensive line and a good offense.
Mm-hmm. Basically, like I'm not so much worried about the goal line work, honestly, because we see a ton of backs that don't get goal line work, but they catch passes and that like basically 3 receptions equals a touchdown because you're getting the PPR point for the reception. And then if he's getting 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 yards, that's another around-ish 1 point. 3 receptions equals one of those touchdowns. So that's like if he's having games where he has 6, 7, 8 receptions, that's take half of that away and give him a touchdown. It's basically the same thing. So it's the receiving volume that's going to be fantastic, I think.
I'm with you.
Connor says Lions defense being bad would be good for Gibbs because it would lead to more receptions.
Agreed.
Yep, I agree. Connor also asked, would you trade the 108 or 109 in a 1 quarterback league for a random 24 first? So where's the line for you for a 24 first in 1 QB? Well, you could answer both. You have a line?
Probably the 108 because that's the first 4 wide receivers gone, ideally, and the top 3 running backs, the players I feel the most confident in. After that, it's a little bit more of a question mark. So I think I'd be fine for so if it's a 10-team league, I'd be much more happy with a random 2024 first.
Sure.
But I think I'm fine doing like the 108 or the 109 for that deal.
And then that would be what, like the 111, 112 in Superflex? Like you're literally pushing it out that far?
Yeah. Again, because I'm confident up through Sharps. Like that, like you know what I mean? Like I'm not giving up Zach Charbonnet for a random 2024 first.
Mm-hmm.
And he to me is like the end of that line.
I just saw a comment that I'm so mad I'm going to get to.
I know. So did I. I hate it. I hate it.
Tyler asked, what do you value Flowers at right now? So he's my wide receiver 4 currently.
He's my wide receiver 3. I still got him over QJ.
Okay. You're the QJ hater now. But I feel like I'm also the hater, but I have him as my wide receiver 2.
But I moved him up a spot. I gave him his flowers, quote unquote, no pun. I moved him over Josh Downs.
There you go.
The other 3 guys I had ahead of him, they also went in the first. I like their landing spots as well. I'm not making massive changes to that.
So Flowers in a rookie draft is I'm trying to put all this into perspective. Like I need to like sit down and like pen and paper this rankings thing out.
109 for me, 110 for you, I think.
Yes, you are correct.
Look at that. Didn't even need a pen and paper.
I feel like I might take Kincaid over Flowers. That might not be the right move, but I feel like I could be persuaded into that.
The AB thing's going to push Flowers down in draft, which is, again, if it's real, I still can't believe Antonio Brown is a Falcon. That doesn't, or a Falcon of Raven. That doesn't make any damn sense. I don't know. It's another bird. I don't know.
Jackson has the 2 and the 5 and a super flex half PPR. He's leaning Young at 2. And thoughts on JSN or Gibbs?
102, 105.
Cool. I'm cool with Young at 102. I would take. We've said all like this whole stream that we would take Richardson at 2. But if Young is your quarterback, take Bryce Young.
Fine. Right.
And
it's
then
fine.
I'd take Gibbs over JSN.
Same. Yeah. That hasn't changed.
Spida, 12 team, 1 quarterback, 6, 202, 206, 205. The order is messing me up, my OCD. Is there someone at 6 that I could get, or should I try and package up picks to move up? He has 924 firsts and 225 firsts. And a complete rebuild in that league, too. It's also an RSO league, so it's contract and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he has Lamar, Garrett Wilson, Drake London. Those are his cornerstone pieces. So at 1.06, he's looking at one of those wide receivers.
I like the 106. I liked up through 107 in 1 QB leagues. Like, I'm happy to grab any of those first round wide receivers. I'm happy with Sharps. Mm-hmm. I think the 106 is a good pick in 1 QB. I think it's an underrated pick.
Would you be trying to move up? Would you be using any of those seconds to move up to go get Charbonnet or JSN?
Unless I can get up into 103, I'm probably not moving up.
That's probably it.
Yeah, like if you can get up to 103, because I think that's a tier. I think that's a tier break.
With how many of these seconds?
I'd give up the 106 and the 202 if I can get up there.
Mm-hmm. I'd give up 2 and a 202 and 206 and get up to
if I had to do it. But I think you could get it with the 202.
Yeah. That's what I would try. If not, then I agree. I'm okay with the 106.
100%.
All right.
I think you're getting one of the premier players in this draft.
Connor says, can we talk about how the Cardinals could realistically have the 101 and 102 next season and get Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison?
They are set up so well. They did their own version of draft day.
They did.
They were taking Paris Johnson the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
They literally they lived draft day, which is so funny. Yeah,
they made the right moves.
If they're at 101,
Caleb Williams,
and they just move Kyler.
Yeah,
you have to, right?
I think you have to.
Because yeah, I want them to have the first overall pick because it is going to be such a chaotic draft cycle. If that's the case, it's going to be great.
I think like they have to move Kyler, and especially for the prices that quarterbacks are going for right now. Like Aaron Rodgers, 39-year-old Aaron Rodgers. And I get Rodgers is a better quarterback than Kyler Murray, but like still like with his massive contract, the fact and his age, he just got, I'm going to call it a first. That pick is going to end up being a first.
Yeah. That's the worst condition of all time.
And like,
that's like, so stupid.
They should be able to get at least another first for Kyler from somebody.
They'll get a first in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, at minimum. So then they're gonna hit reset at quarterback with Caleb Williams and all the picks that they just got from Houston, and they're gonna get more picks from dealing Kyler Murray. And Hollywood Brown is gonna be awesome.
They're set up so well. It's absurd.
Okay, this one's a comment that I said I was gonna make me mad.
Yeah, I hated it.
He's going tonight.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is.
Oh my God.
I think Sean Tucker's going to day 3, and it's gonna be it's gonna make me so mad.
He's gonna be the best 3rd round pick I've ever taken.
I'm so pissed about it. I'm so mad. The thing is, it's the medicals. It's not the talent.
Yeah.
It might be the talent. I don't know, but it's a bummer.
No, it's not the talent. Stop that, Justin. Don't need that negativity in my life.
I'm questioning everything.
Matt says that his thinking is Dobbins is starting to look like Swift now, where I could see him being replaced next year if he can't stay healthy, and Waddle's value could drop if Tua gets smacked in the head again. That was from the trade with the Bijan.
Dobbins is a free agent after this year. But
that's right.
With the way the Ravens offense is looking, J.K. Dobbins has top 10 potential this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that offense is going to move the ball. Greg Roman is gone. They should actually give J.K. Dobbins work. They're going to be passing more, so the receiving upside could increase. J.K. Dobbins is probably a smash pick this season. And if that happens, he could get paid in the offseason, could get tagged. Like, there's ways that Dobbins holds value for another 2 to 3 seasons.
Yeah, I love Dobbins.
I love him too. He just went, I'm in a startup right now. He just went as the RB8, which was early.
What?
I was shocked.
Okay. He is no longer a buy at RB8.
It was the RB8 and then Javonte Williams went RB9. And then I took the 106 immediately after because we were drafting rookie picks. And it was a whirlwind of a turn.
So Joe's down here, but real quick, just to answer Jonathan's question, if you're at 5 and the first 4 picks go Bijan and the 3 quarterbacks, it's Gibbs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Joe, channel member Joe.
Everybody sign up for the DLF YouTube channel membership. Do it.
10-team Superflex PPR start 10. He has the 101, the 302, and the 406. Those are his running backs. He's got Geno, Goff, and Jimmy G, and Jordan Love at quarterback. He's been trying to move down to get Anthony Richardson, but no one is moving. So he's asking, should I just take Anthony Richardson at 101 or stick with Bijan and go after a quarterback next year? Bijan.
I'm answering a work message as I'm doing this stream.
Work. Don't they know? You're at a doctor's appointment right now, Justin.
My doctor's appointment ended at 12:30, so I'm now just staying on and also answering work messages.
No, there's a long line in the waiting room to check out, and traffic's terrible.
Having a career and doing fantasy football live streams on a Friday. I'm pulling this back up, so I need to read it. Okay, yeah. Sorry, everybody. 101, 302, 406. Pollard, Pierce, Madison, Singletary. Okay.
He's asking, should he take Richardson at the 101 or should he stick with Bijan?
Bijan, talent. Okay, I'm sticking with it. You go talent over need for your team. Best player available. I still think that's Bijan. He'll hold value at a minimum for like 3 years. Barring before people are like, if he busts and people are like fully out.
Yep.
Are you the same?
Mm-hmm. Bijan. Also, what's up, fellas? Insane first round last night.
Yes, it was.
It was awesome.
It truly was.
I'm so ready for tonight at 7:00, so it's gonna be fun. Matt says, thanks for the input. Just recently found you guys and have mass consumed your videos over the past week. Love the content. Thanks again. Thank you, Matt.
Matt, if you want more videos,
you're gonna pitch the channel membership to Matt.
If you want more videos, Matt, check out the DLF YouTube membership. I think we have 12 additional videos that aren't on like the regular channel, and we drop extra every single month. So Matt, check out the bonus content here. This is directly for you. Check out the bonus content here on the link that Addison just dropped in.
Corey, do it, Matt.
It's good. Corey can vouch. Joe can vouch. There's good videos on there. It's more of this.
Peer pressure, Matt.
Let's start a timer.
I love it. But so we're at the end of the comments. That would be it. Then. And so that is an hour and 15 on the stream.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, hit me.
What veteran gets screwed the most day 2?
Oh, tonight?
Yeah. Who's getting just
who gets the DeAndre Swift axe?
Over? Who gets Kerryon Johnson? And then DeAndre Swifted.
I feel like it's so easy to say Dalvin Cook, but I feel like he has moved and he regains value by being moved, right? Joe Mixon, yes. I feel like is another good answer, but let's see if I can Will Anderson this crap right now. I don't know if I should be doing this because I'm batting 1,000 right now, and I
do it again.
I should just end while I'm on top. But I am kind of curious on what is going to happen with Ramondre Stevenson, because I feel like he is a name that, and he's a day 3 pick, and he's, survived for, I guess he did survive last year, and then was obviously fantastic. Yeah.
It's the day 3 running backs that start year 1. Those are the guys that end up getting screwed over. Aaron Jones has been fine. Austin Eckler has been fine. Ramondre Stevenson has, for the most part, been fine. It's the guys that have immediate value year 1, for whatever reason, screwed year 2, which is just, it's a very weird phenomenon that I've started to notice.
Yeah. But I am like Ramondre, I am very curious on if Ramondre actually survives day 2. Like I could see them just plugging in like a pounder, somebody to kind of replace the Damian Harris role. But if they get the draft capital, if it's, round 2, even early round 3,
yeah,
I think that's enough. Like he's currently the RB11 in April ADP right now, which I think is like kind of scary high. Like he's going ahead of Najee, Nick Chubb, Pollard, Charbonnet, J.K. Dobbins. Like this. It just seems like Stevenson is on a precipice that has the potential to really slide down if a running back were to go to New England.
I don't disagree with any of that whatsoever. I don't know if I have a pick. I just kind of wanted to hear your answer. Mm-hmm. No, somebody I think could get absolutely torpedoed. It wouldn't be to the same degree as Ramondre. The Bears have 6 picks on day 3. I will be shocked if they don't move up in this draft on day 2. I mean, just 6 picks on
running back.
Charbonnet. He's been linked to the Bears a few times, and I wouldn't be surprised if Poles makes a move, continues to kind of revamp the entire offense, and they move up in round 2 and take Sharbs and just torpedo Herbert, torpedo Deonta Foreman. I, as a fan, would love it, but I wouldn't be that shocked.
I like Herbert is RB34 from April ADP. I don't know if he falls all that far because I still think like people think that he's good, and he's in this weird range of like, are you taking him or like, well, Algiers going to fall. But like down in that range in terms of veterans is other guys like James Conner, Kenneth Gainwell, AJ Dillon, Alexander Madison.
But the reason I think he's up there is still because right now he's the starter. Like him or Foreman, but like he has a clear path to a good size workload. I think that disappears perception wise if Charbonnet goes there, and also in reality. But so I think he could be one that slips quickly.
Yeah.
Biggest winner.
Oh, Ken's in the chat.
Oh, hey Ken.
We'll make a video just for Matt if he signs up. Which so there will be. I do have to make a member post and other posts to let you guys know what we're doing for members for.
Announce it here. Let everybody that's watching.
I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared.
Prepare now.
Okay, so so the past couple of years I've done rookie drafts where I take your guys' like actual teams and your actual rookie picks, and I would do a mock draft as if I was drafting for you guys. Like it was your team, your rookie picks. So we're gonna do that. If you're a channel member, you are 100% gonna get a video, and we're gonna post them publicly. If you're not a channel member, you can still drop a comment down. I will reply to you and tell you what I would do because I'm a nice guy and I would do that. But if you want a video specifically made for you to really discuss what I would do if I was your guys' team with your rookie picks this year, become a channel member.
Yeah. So people in the comments, Colby, Paul, Matt, we're waiting. Corey, Jacob, Joe, all of these guys in the other large group of people that are members, all of them will be getting your member videos. And if we get too many, you won't get Addison, you'll get me. But that's a decent consolation prize.
Maybe maybe if there's like a lot of picks, maybe you and I just go in on one. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, little tandem session. Tandem draft.
I think they love it.
Good. I like that. I like to see it.
Sco said Eckler for veteran that could lose value tonight. Interesting.
So I don't know if Eckler getting traded would obviously hurt his value because nobody's going to utilize him like the Chargers utilize him. So I agree with that, actually. I think that's a very good call, but I don't know. I think it's because he gets traded, not because they draft a replacement. Like, I think he'll get moved in the next 2 days, maybe, or post-draft, but I'll be shocked if he's on the Chargers.
If he's still a Charger and they draft a running back, he survived many a running backs being drafted there. Now, granted, they were like day 3, not that good running back picks. So a day 2 pick might change. But I think as long as he's on the Chargers, I think his value holds pretty. Hey, let's go,
my guy. Number 1.
I love it. Thank you.
Oh, that caught me off guard. That's funny. Thanks, man.
We got Joe said about time.
Oh, that's great.
All right, we got 3 questions in here left. Let's finish out on these 3, and we can end it before 2:00 here. Jonathan asks, would you consider Charbonnet over Gibbs if you were to land in the perfect situation, like the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Cowboys, Minnesota if they let go of Cook, Cincy if they let go of Mixon? Is there any situation where Charbs is over Gibbs for you?
So we talked about this earlier. I think at the very beginning of the stream, like an hour and a half ago. I am sticking with Gibbs over Charbs. The draft capital it's too much of a gap. I think where we're just getting such a clear cut. Like the NFL clearly thinks Gibbs is better than Zach Charbonnet. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's too much to overcome. Even if Charbonnet lands in like Cincy at the end of the second, I'm not gonna take a second round running back over a top 12 pick. And we had Gibbs ahead of him anyway, so there's not much to really, I think, sway me at this point.
Yep. This is something that I've learned. I mean, like the CEH thing was a fantastic example of it, of don't move players into other tiers ahead of other players strictly because of landing spot. You know, I think that it could potentially work out. Like Gibbs or Charbonnet could have a better fantasy career than Gibbs if he were to land in the perfect situation like this. But it's just like overall not really like a good process to be like. We both had Gibbs in a tier by himself, and then it was Charbonnet at the head of tier 3. It's just not good process. It's something that we've learned. The community kind of, I think, has learned just to not move players up into new tiers because of landing spots. They can move within the tiers. You mentioned that in your video. They should move within tiers because of unexpected draft capital or landing spots or anything like that. But they shouldn't jump tiers strictly on the basis of landing spot.
Yep. Hey, Jason, welcome.
Jason. Look at that.
Look at that, guys. You're picking it up now. Everybody wants personalized drafts from Addison. I think that's it. I think that's exactly what it is.
Matt said it took him a minute. He had to move money from his checking to savings for the big purchase. I love it.
This is an investment. This is forever.
So now that Jason is a channel member, he asks, it sounds like Stevenson feels like the highest value in ADP and also chance of being torpedoed tonight if something were to happen. What would we be selling for in both Superflex and non-Superflex?
So Superflex, I roster him. I have been trying to get a like top 8 pick for him, right? Like a Jordan Addison level type deal. I haven't been able to get it, but I think that's what the price should be. I think that is where he should be going, because if he does survive, like you're looking at a top 10 running back, at least for another season. So anything less than a top 8, I'm going to probably say no to.
Yeah. At least if ADP, I mean, not the greatest example of trade value, but ADP wise, Stevenson is ahead, or at least was in April, ahead of every single rookie in one quarterback except for JSN and Gibbs. So he was ahead of Addison, Johnston, Charbonnet. But all of those guys might be better assets to have in Dynasty. And if you're able to trade for that late first and get any one of them, probably a better investment than Ramondre Stevenson long term. Would you go for like a 24 first? Just a random.
It depends on my team. If I'm going full rebuild, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm competing, my goal is to win. And I don't know if Ramondre like fully disappears because they drafted a second round running back. I still think he'll hold like RB2 value, but it's just the ceiling is drastically capped. Right. So he's still going to be able to contribute to a contending roster. So I'd probably just eat the loss in value.
Oh, Ridley Truther said in a 1 quarter or Superflex league, he sold one running back requirement Superflex league. He sold Ramondre and a fourth for 1.08. So
it what the hell? Why can't I do it?
It can be done.
Killing me. Trying to do
that's what I'd be trying to do. And then where was it?
There's one more here.
Reed said that he just opted in, but he drafted London in 22 startup, traded for Pitts on the low after the injury last season. He has the 101. Is it possible to have too many Atlanta Falcons? You're taking Bijan.
Yeah, take Bijan. I was looking at this the other day. I have Pitts in London in a league. I don't have the one. I traded the 101 away, but I still would have taken Bijan.
Yeah,
like that still would have been what I did there.
Now just go buy Desmond Ridder, and then
there you go. Really get them all.
Lean into this offense, you know.
Gosh.
Oh man, Kincaid or whoever the wide receiver 2 is in a 2 tight end premium. In a 2 tight end premium, you got to take Kincaid.
Yeah, you do. You really do. It's crazy to think, but yes. Like the 2 tight end premium is such a massive shift for a pass catching only tight end.
Last question. Superflex trade, 12-man start 10, 2, 8, 9, and the 201. A late 24 second for 4, 5, and 6.
2, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6. In Superflex?
Superflex. I'll take 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, pretty comfortably.
Okay,
pretty comfortably.
What do you do with the 105 and 1 quarterback? He's thinking that Bijan, Gibbs, JSN, and Quentin Johnson go. Charbonnet.
Yep, Charbs. Or if you want to go wide receiver, it'd be Jordan Addison. But I prefer Charbs right now. Not knowing the landing spot, but I prefer Charbs.
Yeah. Nice. All right.
Hour and a half.
Just a cool, calm hour and a half. So we're going to call it there. We appreciate everybody joining in. We appreciate the 2 new members that joined up today. Thank you guys so much for commenting, for supporting the channel, for joining us. And hopefully round 2 is just as fun, as exciting as round 1 was last night. So outro. We'll catch you later, guys. See ya.